I think most people would consider me a huge nerd, and I even consider myself a huge nerd, but there's a ton of stuff that I consider to be pretty nerdy that I've never really attempted to do. One of which is cosplay. And for those of you that follow some of my other social media channels, you'll know that I'm going to be going to AwesomeCon in Washington, DC, which is going to be like the first weekend of April. So this video might be before or after that. I don't know. It really depends on how fast I can edit it. So I decided I wanted to kind of broaden my nerdy horizons a bit and try to do some cosplay. The only problem is that cosplay is either extremely hard or extremely expensive, depending on how you attack it. And I am both extremely lazy and at this current moment, extremely broke. So I racked my brain for things that I really liked that I would love to cosplay. And then I was watching a video about Severance, which I love, by the way. It's one of my favorite TV shows ever. And I was like, well, yeah. And then something kind of like struck at me, like, you own a suit already. And really when it comes down to it, to cosplay a Severance character, I just need a blue lanyard and a blue little key card. And that's basically it. So I got really excited, went on Etsy and looked up some stuff, and none of it really seemed to fit what I wanted. Like looks wise, it could just be the way that they took the pictures. They didn't look that like accurate. Some of them looked better, some of them didn't. And the thing that really got me was I'd be paying $20 to get a single lanyard, or occasionally they'd have like 2 or 3 and like a little pack of different colors. Still 20 bucks. So instead of spending $20 on Etsy to get something that I wasn't sure if I was gonna like, I spent $40 on a bunch of supplies to make my own based on a YouTube video that I saw. And the YouTuber's video that I saw, who's really good, and as far as I could tell was the only person that had a decent video on how to make them at home, was Creative Geekery. And actually these are where I got the templates from. If you go to their, go to his website, got the templates on there, which is gonna save me a ton of work. I don't have to do any like artistic things. I can just like cut these out and like shape them up. And it's gonna be so much easier than it would have been otherwise. Go check out, he also has a video about how to put this all together and his process. Highly recommend this dude. I'm just gonna be kind of like talking and chilling out and doing this on my own. I'm not attempting to steal his thunder in any way. So you should really check out this guy, super cool. I think the really cool thing about this is that it's low effort, but high fun. I could definitely see myself, if I have enough time, like getting some more little accoutrement. I'm gonna try and find those like little finger traps from the first season. I might also hand those out at AwesomeCon. I've also got like a bunch of dice coming in. I should be getting a pound of Die Hard dice coming in like the Friday right before it happens, or the Friday of. So I might be giving out some dice, not necessarily Die Hard dice, but some of my older dice that are gonna be replaced by these Die Hard dice. So I might be giving out some dice, probably gonna give out some stickers at AwesomeCon. If I'm not weirdly bad at putting this all together, which I'm not saying may or may not happen, I might have a few of these lanyards to give away as well. Although I don't know how many blue lanyards I have. I have different colored lanyards. Maybe I'll order some blue ones if this isn't too bad. I'm also gonna link everything. So Creative Geekery, he has links in his. I think I got slightly different products than him, so I'm gonna link my stuff in there as well so you can find it. Also, hopefully at the end of this, I'll show you a completed cosplay, which is just gonna be in a suit with a lanyard. So very low stakes for me. There's nothing to it but to try. So, oh, one thing I did notice, so I got this like matte sticker paper, and depending on the settings, it can be wildly different. So this was the first run, and I didn't fiddle with the settings too much, and it came out like not great. The print quality is very low. And then I kind of set it to an ultra glossy setting, because this was matte, so I set it to matte for this, but by setting it to glossy, it actually came out way nicer. Ooh. I will say this is pretty fragile. I think I just scraped that with a piece of metal accidentally, and then I was able to take off a little bit with my finger. So it is a little fragile. I did get some of this like clear contact paper that's gonna like maybe hopefully dull it if it's got a little bit of a sheen, and also protect it a bit, because it's just gonna be clinging and clanging around on my ID, on my badge for the con. So I don't want it to look bad by the end of the day. Here is the quality of the one I filled up the settings with for like glossy paper. It came out like I think the color is about on target. It's way higher quality in terms of like the lines in this. Like you could barely make out that there's lines in this. It also took 5 minutes to print out. I'm sure it used a ton of ink. So we're gonna cut this. And who knows, if this goes really well, maybe I'll start my own Etsy shop and sell these for $20 a pop. I might, you know, capitalism is for everyone. All right, so I've got these like PVC little cards. They do make printers for these, but the Creative Geekery guy was like, they're like $2,000. So this is way cheaper, even though it may not necessarily last the longest, nor is it probably going to look absolutely perfect from the get. But we're gonna get like really, hopefully really close with this. So, PVC, I've also got a little X-Acto type knife. We just gotta like line this up. Let's double check that the sizing for this is about right, and it is. There'll be a little bit of overlap, which is probably a good thing. So I don't have to like absolutely nail it on size. I think I've reached my first problem. I didn't watch the video closely enough with the guy, so I can't remember exactly like his process for getting this on the card and flush. And I am a bit of a perfectionist, and it's gonna drive me crazy trying to line this up absolutely perfect. It's gonna be a problem. Like I left a little bit of a ridge around it. I probably should not have done that. I probably should have had less. Relatively straight. I'm probably overthinking this by like a country mile. If I clip off a little bit more, I'll be less nervous about it. All right, so I've got like a corner located now. This should be a little bit easier to place. Already overthinking it again. Not terrible. Probably going to be a lot easier to replicate. I'm still probably going to mess it up. Make sure the surface is clean. Hey! I got a few little bubbles, which is probably not the best, but and I can't really put heavy contact on the paper because it'll rub away. But it's not too bad. Not too shabby. We're getting there. I can't really use anything scrapey because it'll scrape off the thing. I'll have to try and put the other side a little bit better. But honestly, for a first try, this is not bad. And honestly, the air bubbles are pretty small and they're hidden pretty well. Not get a name brand X-Acto knife, and I am thinking that I am paying for it. I think I'm paying for it a little bit. Contact paper will hide some of the crimes on that. See, like it doesn't take very much at all for this to get scuffed. Definitely, I thought I might be able to get a couple out of these, but I'm only going to be able to get like one because there's only a couple that are really scuffed up pretty bad. Do the other side. I'm going to do it careful now so we don't get any bubbles. We're mostly there. We're mostly there. We're mostly there. This was not as daunting as I thought it was going to be. I thought I was going to muck up substantially, at least on one of these. And I'm going to say that And I'm gonna fuck this thing up something awful. Just watch. All right, yeah, now it's just cleaning up the edges a bit. Getting this a little bit more flush. And the fact that these are a little off kilter will be less apparent once I trim off the edges. This could be where I go terribly, terribly wrong. So we're just gonna try it here. It's not too bad. Ooh, one side, not bad. I do think I may have put it just a hair too close to the bottom. These are maybe a little too close to the actual size for my inability to properly put them on. Bottom might be slightly warped. I've already scuffed one side. And then scuff the other side. No! I spoke too soon. The adhesive on the sticker paper is strong enough that I can peel up whatever marker or whatever ink is on this. I have an inkjet printer, so that's probably what did it in. Instead of having like a laser. A laser would probably be pretty sturdy if it was like a laser printer. Ooh, I don't know if this is as sharp as it should be. I kind of ragged these edges pretty good. I mean, for a first try, we're not doing terrible. I mean, we're definitely gonna have to do another one. It's just these corners. So the RFD badges that I got are rounded. And the little stickers, you cut them out, are not rounded. If you have like a cry cut machine, I think this would probably be like perfect. All right, first attempt. I'm definitely gonna have to print out more of these. First attempt. I mean, it's not terrible. I think the most egregious thing is at the bottom. I think there's just the plastic of the card. When I laid it on, wasn't quite on target as I needed to be. I left a little bit too much white on there, and I lined it up to that. I mean, if I could probably work this plastic, but then I have to worry about messing up the squareness. First attempt, not incredible, not awful. I think, like, honestly, considering first try, it's not bad. We're gonna try to put some contact paper on it and we'll see how it goes. This might be too shiny though. It's definitely gonna add some shine to it. I kind of like the matte. I'm also gluing it to this thing. It's not bad. I mean, if you look at it close, there is like a weird grain to this contact paper that shows up really prominently if you look at it up close, but honestly, it's not that horrendous. So compared to some of the other minor / major defects I've introduced as I've been going along. Both sides contact paper. I mean, again, this probably doesn't necessarily show up in the thing, but that's not bad. Yeah. OMD reporting in. Ryan M reporting in to MDR. Like, this works pretty good. I already had the suit, so I didn't have to buy anything for it. I already had the tie. Really, the only thing that makes this go from business relatively formal to a cosplay is this right here. But hey, low effort. The only thing I might change, I might do suspenders, because I feel like having to like keep my pants up all day at a convention might work a little bit better with suspenders than like a belt, and trying to keep like my shirt tucked and everything. The other thing that I might add is I got one of these fans the other day. I got recommended one of these like belt fans. I run a little warm, and I was at a convention at WonderCon last week, like I mentioned before, and even just wearing just like pants and like a short sleeve button up that I usually wear for my videos, I was getting like a little warm, not like sweating, but just a little sticky. It was like a little humid. I think, especially if I'm wearing a jacket the entire time, this might help. Just like put this in the back so it blows a little bit of air. Like just a little bit of something, because I don't wear suits anymore. I work from home. I have become like a caveman. I wear sweats most of the time. So having to wear a suit again is going to be uncomfortable enough as it is. So I'm going to need like a little bit of airflow, especially I think because in DC it gets muggy and a little overwarm pretty much right around now. So if I want to do anything outside of AC, it'd be nice to have like a slight bit of relief. I don't think it's that loud. Oh wait, is it turned on? I just turned on the light. That'll be noticeable. It does Morse code. Like, put it next to the microphone. And that's just like a little bit of air. Let's see here. If I just hook it in to the back of my pants, like lift up my shirt, and just put the shirt over it. How does that work? How does that? It is cooling. It is kind of nice. I might need to like position it a little bit better. And I think if I'm wearing suspenders or belt, it'll have like a little bit more help staying. Because right now it's kind of like flopping around on my lack of belt, but it does feel like cool on my lower back. That might just be just a little bit more to keep it comfortable, especially, I don't know how packed AwesomeCon is, but you know, depending on how, like, I know if we're going to PAX Unplugged, it can be like shoulder to shoulder in there, and you can just like feel people's like body heat, and I don't want that, especially if I'm wearing a suit. I don't like it in the best of times, wearing a suit and a tie, which already like makes me, I don't like wearing ties. I don't like having things around my neck. So slight sensory thing for me, but I think this is going to help. And it's honestly like, especially when in a convention environment where the din of conversation is so loud, you won't even notice this thing going on. And this is on the lowest setting. I just got to make sure it doesn't get like blocked or I guess lose it. I would imagine, I don't plan on doing a whole lot of running, but like, this is also a battery bank, which would be super convenient. Let's see how. Now that would be noticeable. I'm gonna put it next to the microphone. That's pretty noticeable, but it's also, it's like such a huge amount of air coming out of it. Oh, it's so nice. Let's see how I'll put it back. See how that works. It would probably cause my shirt to like blow out because of all the air. Oh yeah. That's really nice. Oh, that's so nice. That's so nice. This might be my favorite purchase. Yeah, everything I used, I will link in the description if you want to recreate these yourselves. I'm going to have 3 or 4 of these with me at the convention. If you spot me at AwesomeCon, ask me if I have one left. I'll give you one. They are not great. I think this one is the best one of the batch, and it's like, it's fine. It's fine. At a distance, nobody will second guess it. So don't expect anything glamorous, but I have 3 of them that I'm going to give out with the lanyards. I'm also going to have some dice. I'm going to have some stickers, other stuff. Come by, say hello. We'll take a selfie together. Just make sure if you take a selfie with me, when you post on Instagram, make sure to tag me so I can share it myself. I need to create like one of those little folders for stories with like people that I meet, because it's happening more, and it's never not exciting. And I really enjoy y'all seeing y'all out in the wild, in the real world. And honestly, it makes everything I do seem that much cooler. I just realized I've been speaking the entire time with this fan. That is not necessarily quiet. I might have to redub that. But yeah, if you see me at AwesomeCon, please come up and say hi. I'm going to be wearing something very similar to this. I might add suspenders or, you know, I don't know. I'm going to definitely be wearing this suit and this, maybe a different shirt. But come say hi. Otherwise, I'm going to be wearing one of my geek tropical shirts. So it's going to have, you know, D&D designs on it. I'm going to be having this beard, rocking this haircut. This is a few days before the convention if I can post this on time. So please come out and say hi. I know this is not my usual content. I know that this is not like Dungeons and Dragons, but it's fun to experiment and try new things. And I think the motivation for doing this was also like, I wanted to do this, but it's a fun excuse to be like, oh, I'm doing this for content. And it makes it easier in my brain, I guess, to say that I'm doing this for work in a way instead of just for myself. So I appreciate y'all coming along the ride. And if this was super boring, I apologize. And if it was super fun, I hope you enjoyed it. Let me know in the comments either way. I might do more of this stuff in the future if this is something that people like. Anyway, roll well, be well. I gotta go find my dead wife.